Two of the most influential minds in AI both have left comfortable positions to build startups in the same space. And when this happens, you pay attention. Both Jan LeCun, who is a Turing Award winner and was also previously Meta's chief AI scientist, launched a venture focused on world model, and Fei-Fei Li, who's also known as the godmother of AI. So, what are they seeing that the rest of us are missing? Today, we are going to talk about world models. So let's look at why the companies that are collecting physical world data right now might be building moats that are impossible to cross 5 years from now. My name is Emma Muller, and I'm the CEO and founder of the boutique advisory firm Lumiera, and I'm here with my co-founder and Lumiera's CTO, Allegra Gainen. Hi, Allegra.
Hi, Emma. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for joining us. What are world models, Allegra?
World models are AI systems that simulate how the world works. So, not just generating text or images like other AI models that people might be familiar with, such as large language models. And instead of pattern matching like those other models do, they build internal representations of environments and they predict future states based on actions.
Okay, so how is this different from, for example, a large language model?
Yeah, so an LLM would maybe predict the next word. So if you're familiar with a chatting experience, what is actually happening is that the system is looking at the input that you've given it and coming up with a probable next set of words or tokens that would make sense in that situation. But it's not actually coming up with a simulated experience or understanding actions in the physical world and then giving you what could happen next. So a world model would predict, for example, like what happens if a car turns left at a red light, or if a robot pushed an object, what would actually play out in that possible future situation based on an understanding of physics and the physical world.
Okay, so it's essentially building on physics instead of building on language. That makes
Yes.
sense. So, how is this useful for the industry, for businesses? What do they actually solve?
Yeah, so this is allowing reasoning about consequences. It's allowing for planning and it's enabling choosing actions based on predicted outcomes rather than just guessing. So you can think about sensor data, videos, simulations. All of these are data points that represent the physical space and the world that we are navigating around as humans, and that can help in the robotics industry, for example, with autonomous vehicles. Anything that is moving in the actual physical space around us needs to have an understanding of that space.
So, what are those industries? Because robotics is a very specific industry in itself, and it's quite obvious that robotics would be impacted by these types of models. What are other industries that we could see be impacted and where important strategic decisions could be made now already?
Yeah, well, first, robotics is quite a large industry, I would say. It can be in a lot of different areas. So it can be manufacturing, logistics, it can be a factory floor. It's not just the robots that you see on stage at these tech conferences. So there's a wide variety of what robotics actually encompasses. But also understanding, for example, the energy grid, or if you work in anything around connectivity or networking, understanding if you take certain actions or if some potential external occurrence took place, what would then be the outcome based on an actual understanding of physical space. And that makes a huge difference for being able to predict what's going to happen next and to plan rather than being more reactive.
Thank you so much for sharing some information on world models with us today, Allegra.
Thank you. And if you want to know more about world models and why people are investing in them, you can check out our Substack, the Lumiere Loop, where we go into what people are building and why they're building it, and the kind of moat that you mentioned organizations can start building now with their data.